Well, hello and welcome to 2025.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
It feels a little weird saying it, but then again, here we are. Since it is the new year, a lot of us are thinking about our goals, our intentions, and our ambitions for the upcoming 12 months. That being said, it is also a good time if you're a thrifter to think about and reevaluate the items that you might be looking for when you're out at the thrift stores. And if you don't already have a list, it's a good time to start one, because if you're a novice, you may not realize that if you want the thrift gods to bless you, you have to have a good idea of what you're after. So today I'm going to be sharing my thrift wish list of 2025. I actually haven't made one of these since 2023, so I thought it would be a good idea to update my Dreamies and White Whales list, although I feel like my list is going to be a little bit shorter and probably a little bit more practical. I've mentioned this in previous videos, but in recent years, I've been trying to be a lot more intentional with my thrifting and not just buying every little cute knick-knack that I find. I used to come home with a lot bigger hauls, but lately it's been a lot more curated. That doesn't mean that I only buy things on this list. I definitely do like finding unexpected things. However, when I do buy things that are not on my list, I reserve it for things that I absolutely love and I know how I'm going to use. This not only leaves things for other people to find, not being greedy, but also cuts down on the clutter, which I was very aware of because unless you missed the memo, you might know that I recently moved and I will be moving again since I am currently in temporary accommodations in a condo, and we're in the process of looking to buy a house with my brother. That being said, when I do go out to thrift, I'm going to be looking for a lot of household items, so if that's something that you're not really interested in, if you are here for more of the clothes and the fashion, I will be leaving a timestamp below to that part of the list, but I will be starting off with the household items. There will be a lot of practical items that I will be looking for. I did make an Amazon wish list of all of said items. However, I would much prefer to thrift them. I just made that list so I knew what we actually needed, like the dishes and like pot holders and knives and cutlery and like organizational things. But as I said, as I'm out thrifting, I'm going to be looking for those items so then I can then take them off the list. And once we do make it into our forever home, I am going to be releasing that list in case any of you would like to send us a housewarming gift. But again, it's not mandatory. I also made that list for us to benefit from and also for friends and family who would like to send us a gift. I don't want to be one of those creators that expects or wants their viewers to send them free stuff. I don't even have a PO box yet, although I will be making one. In terms of like the practical items, I would really love some Hobbity dishes. Specifically, I'd like to be a grown-up and have a full set of dishes. Dishes is one of the items I would like as a set. Usually I'm very much a mix and match kind of girly. So towels and dishes are the two things that I'm like, I want a set. But sometimes you can find full sets at thrift stores, and I will be purchasing some lead paint detecting kits just so I don't like poison my family. And then drinking glasses. I've never had proper drinking glasses, or maybe I've had like a couple. We mostly just drink out of mugs, but I'd like to be an adult and have drinking glasses and maybe some cute wine glasses. I'm not a wine glass girly. I don't really drink alcohol, but there are some specific ones that I did save some on Amazon, but if I find some similar or some like medieval or whimsical looking ones, I will be very happy. And typically, depending on the thrift store, dishes are usually pretty affordable, so I will be on the hunt. I actually recently got some really big soup bowls at Salvation Army. That was in the previous video where we went thrifting for the first time, where we actually documented it. And I got a couple of those bowls and I'm very excited. That's kind of like the color scheme I'm going for, like lots of greens, purples, teals, very like rich, romantic, magical colors is what I'm going for the whole house, but also specifically the kitchen. And I'm also looking for a lot of botanical motifs. So I really love like these jars for the countertop that I saved on Amazon, but I have thrifted this brand before. So I will be keeping an eye out for really cool canisters and jars to like organize stuff. I wouldn't mind finding some other cute little jars to put my loose leaf teas and like organize it. And then also I also saved these like cabinetry drawers type organization. I don't know if we'll have room on the countertops at the new house. That remains to be seen. I really like this apothecary drawer style, specifically for my bagged teas, but for loose leaf, I wouldn't mind having like a little shelf like this. If not for the tea, maybe for mugs, but I do like the idea of having my teas accessible because I'm trying to drink more tea. I love loose leaf tea. I'm mostly a coffee girly, but we love the medicinal properties of tea. That is kind of what I've saved on Amazon. Let me just consult the ye old screenshots really quick, make sure I covered everything. I'm also out of breath all the time. I'm still getting used to... Oh yes, I have some hooks and things saved on Amazon that I would, again, much prefer thrifting, but some brass hardware like towel rods and hooks and like the ring. I don't know what wait, I have a screenshot. What does it say? Round towel holder for bathroom. Something like that. And I know I can thrift that. And then of course, throw pillows are something that are in no short supply at thrift stores, but I would really love to find some velvet ones with those like ruffly edges. And then I've also seen someone actually thrifted this, so I know it's possible, but like the velvet with the tier on the bottom tablecloth. I don't know what our breakfast nook situation is going to be, but having like a cute little breakfast nook would be cute. And then I also have these tapestry pillow covers saved on my Amazon as well. But again, thrift first. And I've seen stuff like this at thrift stores. I actually have one over in the corner. It's not a medieval one, but it's like a cottage core one. So definitely doable. Also cool tapestry style blankets. I've already been looking at those, haven't found the one, but I have this one saved just to give me a reference. I love celestial themes. So if I could find that at the thrift store, I would be so stoked. Now that we're done with my camera roll, I have a notebook here. This is my cute little mothy notebook from Redbubble. They sponsored me a while back. I have my notes. So, speaking of tapestries, I specifically want some wall tapestries. It would be lovely if I found the unicorn or any of like the medieval inspired ones. They're typically very expensive online or if they're being resold on Facebook Marketplace, but if I could find one in the thrift store, that would be really cool. I am obsessed with this one bedroom makeover that I think her name is Savannah Art. Hold on, I just sent it to my husband. Oops, wrong group chat. Simply Savannah Art. She did a medieval inspired bedroom room makeover, and I would love to kind of take some elements from that, just the tapestry part. Well, not just the tapestry part, but I love the idea of putting a tapestry behind the bed or like as a focal point. And I'll get into like the beds. Actually, no, that's actually next. I'm getting not ahead of myself. I'm putting myself behind. In that note, I would love to find pretty drapes, not just for windows, but also to create like a canopy situation around the bed. Fun fact, I've always wanted a canopy bed since I was a little girl. Like that was my biggest dream besides going to Disneyland, because I loved castles and princesses and stuff, was a canopy bed. So I want, even though we have our bed and it's not a canopy bed, I love our carved wood bed. I would love to create like a drapey canopy situation around it. And the house that we're looking at does have like vaulted ceilings, so I would have to get creative. It would be really cool to get a bunch of different textiles and drapes and like drape around the bed to create some separation, because the house we're looking at, aka is currently an inspection process, it is a bit of a bigger room, and my filming station is going to be in that room, like my office. So everything is going to be all in one room. So I kind of want to like section off different parts of the room so that there can be some separation of like work, relaxation, etc. And these are the images that I've been gathering on Pinterest, and I believe some of them are AI. Don't come at me, I didn't generate them, but I love the vibe, and I'm kind of getting some inspiration with the colors and textures. So I would like to recreate something similar to that in real life, maybe add some like foliage, faux foliage, because I can't keep plants alive. I will try to like get into like gardening and plants. But there are 3 windows in the bedroom of the house that I'm not getting my hopes up for, but they just did inspections today and I haven't heard anything, so I'm just I would like to find stained glass hangings, especially to hang in the windows. So sometimes you'll find these like panels of stained glass. There's like a little window up at the top that's one of the 3 windows. I would love to hang like a stained glass panel in front of it instead of drapes, because you don't really the drapes are just there to like keep the light out, but I don't want the light out. I've always wanted like an old house with stained glass windows. The house is from the 70s, so we don't have that. It does have its other unique charm, which you guys will hopefully get to see. but having that would be really cool. And then in the same light, sun catchers or stained glass, like little stained glass like sun catchers and hangings to put in the windows as well would be really pretty. And then the next one is kind of random, but I went to a castle recently with two of my friends, Tia and Jordan, and in the bathroom, just all over immaculate vibes. But I was taking notes at their decor, and one of the things I saw was a brass ornate tissue box holder, and I've seen those before, but because I was in the mindset of thinking about the house, because I was like looking at all their decor, I was like adding that to the list of things that I'm gonna look at that I know I can thrift. As I was walking around, I did take note of the beautiful furniture pieces. So I would love some beautiful, ornate, solid wood vintage furniture. And of course, I would keep the finish. I know some of you are afraid I'm gonna like paint everything. Nope. When it comes to painting furniture, I will be thrifting a basic worn down piece that needs love and upcycling it, sanding it, add some ornate details to it, as well as a really cool artistic paint job, maybe some, what do you call those? Transfers? I don't know. You guys will see. That might be a whole video if I can find the right piece as my canvas, which is going to be pretty easy because the thrift stores out here in Colorado have a lot of furniture, which I love, and I can't wait to like go thrifting for that. So what pieces am I specifically looking for? Well, we got rid of a lot of furniture when we moved, specifically bedroom furniture. Right now we are rocking with no dressers. So we're gonna need one long dresser, one tall dresser. We need a nightstand. I'm currently just using a side table over there for my stuff. And then the nightstand over here, which I might just continue using as a nightstand. I originally thrifted it to put my camera gear in my office, but it's a nightstand and it matches our furniture pretty well. I will be possibly looking for a new china cabinet since I sold my last one. It was more mid-century, and I'm looking for something a little bit more ornate, a little more vintage to match the vibe. If there is room for it, I still don't know what the whole like setup of everything is going to be. Next, I would love to find a cabinet to turn into a cat litter cabinet. Now you can buy those on Amazon or Wayfair. Not the best quality, probably made with particle board. I would love to just get something that already exists and like cut out a little like entrance, maybe even add like a little hobbit door, look like a round hobbit door looking thing. I don't know. We don't know yet. I have to wait and see what we find. But even though I have a cat litter cabinet in my wish list just as a placeholder. I would much rather thrift a cabinet and DIY it. And if you guys want that as a whole video, or maybe a video about like cat stuff, let me know. I actually have an idea to DIY a cat tree because none of the cat trees are the vibe, and my little children need their little high places to climb and be feral. So feral, but in the house. Faux feral. Next, we need an entertainment cabinet to put all the gaming. So my brother-in-law is going to be moving in. So it's going to be a house of 3 dudes. And I told them, you know, they can take one of the, like either the family room or the living room, make that like a gaming setup, but it can't look like a man cave. So I want to find a really cool, like Gothic Victorian looking entertainment cabinet, and if it's not, I can like DIY it, make it look the vibe, you know? I don't think anyone's gonna get mad if I get one of those old ugly entertainment centers that nobody wants anymore and I DIY it into a gaming station and make it look all aesthetic. I don't think anyone's gonna complain. People complain about if I like took a dresser with really good finish and painted it with chalk paint. I think that the other thing no one will care about. But don't worry, the thing I paint will be screwed up and be deserving of a makeover montage. Okay, so again, heavily influenced by social media and the people that I am associated with and that castle that I went to. I'm looking for things with medieval/knight motifs. So I have a friend on Tickety Talk that thrifted a knight helmet ice bucket at one point, and she's been collecting them ever since. And I'm super jelly and I want to find one. Even though I have no use for an ice bucket, I wouldn't mind having an ice bucket. You never know when you're entertaining guests and you're like, here's a bottle of wine or champagne and stick it in. I mean, how impressive would that be? Or like if you're having a Lord of the Rings watch party night, that's dope. And I've also seen like bookends. My friend Jordan actually thrifted like some night bookends, things like that. I'm going to be on the hunt for. Actually, at the Wizards, what is it called? The Wizards. I just went there yesterday. the Wizard's Chest in Denver. In their bathrooms, their toilet paper holders are like these knights holding the toilet paper for you. I thought that was really cute. Like that even their bathrooms are themed. So stuff like that, I'm gonna keep an eye out. That's not it. However, I can't really add too much to the list until we're in the house moving in, and then we'll start to discern what we actually need. So that's kind of the basics in terms of what we're looking for the house. But next is clothes, which is not gonna be as in-depth because, as I've stated before, I have enough clothes. I'm lucky enough to have thrifted a pretty sizable wardrobe, but sometimes I'm looking for some stuff. I still like take a look through. So first of all, there is a specific item I'm looking for, and one of my friends actually thrifted it, and then I know Sophie Seddon has it. It is a tapestry celestial jacket. I'm looking for that, and then also just anything that's like celestial themed Y2K, like actual vintage, nothing that's like newer, because a lot of fast fashion brands are jumping on the Whimsigoth train and kind of ruining it. It's kind of like when you think something is cool, but then the moment your parents think it's cool, you're like, okay. Except it's worse because it's hyper-consumerism and exploitation of labor and destroying the environment. Speaking of 90s and Y2K, obviously I love my velvet, my bell sleeves, my burnout velvet. I'm always looking for that, so tops, especially bell sleeves, dresses, or skirts that have those types of elements like the velvet and unique embellishments. Things that remind one of Florence Welch or Stevie Nicks or the early 2000s, or just watch my Whimsigoth inspiration, like how to dress Whimsigoth video, stuff like that. Also beaded 90s slip dresses. Those are always so expensive by resellers, and I'm always on the hunt for them. Even if it's like a little bit more than I would normally spend for a dress, I'm still willing to pay it because resellers will sell it for like $400, $300. Heck no, I'm on a budget, man. I'm cheap. And in the same light, gunny sacks, but specifically the gunny sacks dresses with medieval elements or flair. There was a specific line that was more medieval. Now, typically they're super duper 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 small, and I'm like a US 6 or 8, and like I don't fit in those, but sometimes people would use the patterns from gunny sacks or like gunny sacks adjacent brands and make their own dresses. So even if it's not branded gunny sacks, but it has that vibe, I'm looking for it. Gunny sacks, when I find you gunny sacks, or just 60s and 70s Renaissance or medieval revival in general. I really love that vibe because it's got that like medieval flair, but it's not like the depressing part of the medieval period like Black Plague. Bring out your dead! It's the fun, cheesy kind of like what we interpret medieval as, not what it actually was. Things like that, like the bright colors and the magical fantasy vibe. That's what I'm going for. This is pretty predictable if you know me. If you don't know me, you're probably like, what is this chick on? Is she on psychedelics? No, I wish. But I'm a good girl. I go to a psychiatrist. And also, I've been seeing a lot of like purses or accessories with like chainmail or armor details. I would love to find things like that. And just jewelry as well. Like I also got some jewelry by Kirk's Folly recently off of eBay. When I say recently, I mean the last 6 months. Time does not exist. I'll be looking for things like that, things with fantasy, fairy, but also celestial, but also like night. All of the vibes, I'm trying to make my inner child happy, and this is the crap that I loved when I was 5. I just didn't know how to express it. So now I'm going full ham, and let's just say little Sarah, that's my legal name, by the way. Little Sarah is thriving. Anywho's or what's, I think that is the last of my list. Again, there's gonna be more, but you don't really know until you go. And sometimes you don't know until you get into the place that you're moving, what you actually need. And in terms of clothes, I don't need anything. It's the things I want. But yeah, that's where I'm gonna wrap things up. Let me know what you guys are looking for at the thrift stores down below. Share ideas and encourage each other and give each other tips and tricks. I am gonna be exploring more thrift stores around in the Colorado and Colorado Springs and Denver area. I have heard you guys. I'm gonna be I am going to be checking out ARC or ARC, however you say it, as well as some of the other smaller thrift stores. So I'm going to be looking for the best places to thrift. And of course, I'll be taking you guys along with me, especially when I start thrifting for furniture and we move into our new place. Don't worry, the camera will always be rolling, and you guys will get to go on this journey with me, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm like so excited. Also, yes, this is a sword. Many of you have asked me what microphone is on. It's not really a letter opener, but it's a sword. Are we surprised? No, we are not. All right, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was fun for you, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Goodbye.